NASCAR is getting bigger and bigger, and this time they're going global as they've shocked fans with some brand new expansion news. Could we see the drivers line up in another continent soon? NASCAR has been expanding in recent years, and this year we've seen NASCAR stars participate in races outside of the US. For instance, Daniel Suarez, and he knew immediately that the August race at Sao Paulo's world-famous Interlagos racing circuit would be a significant day for him as a competitor, for the tens of thousands of international fans eager for a day of stock car racing, and for NASCAR in general. I cannot remember the last time I was stuck in traffic for so long, hours, heading into the racetrack, said a smiling Suarez, a Trackhouse Racing NASCAR Cup Series driver who raced in the NASCAR Brazil Series during one of his summer off weeks. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable in a good way. I only wish that every driver in the Cup Series and even the media had the opportunity to experience that, because the amount of racing culture that is down there in Brazil is unbelievable. I feel like there is so much opportunity. The sport of NASCAR is very big, and some people I don't think have really realized that, and I had the opportunity to see that in Brazil. I have known that for many years in Mexico, and I'm really excited that NASCAR is thinking outside the box. NASCAR has been doing this for years, and as the sport's vice president and chief international officer, Chad Siegler, guarantees, it is part of a continuing effort to introduce and promote the stock car scene throughout the world. It has received exactly the type of welcome Suarez predicts, with 4 main series: NASCAR Brazil Series, NASCAR Mexico Series, NASCAR Canada Series, and NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, thriving and developing both inside and outside. We kind of look at our international focus from 3 silos, Siegler added. We have the individual series, and our philosophy has always been, we know we can't take the Cup Series and have it travel around like Formula One does, so if we can go into a market and create local stars, local heroes, local team owners, local track infrastructure, that's good for us. Focus number 2 is, if you have that driver that says, although I love racing in Mexico, my dream is to go racing in the US, then we're providing a path, he added, noting NASCAR's upcoming race weekend in Mexico. And the third focus is taking one of the NASCAR National Series outside the US. Bobby Labonte, the 2000 NASCAR Cup Series winner, participated many times in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series in 2018 and, like Suarez, was astonished by the excitement of the spectators and his fellow racers. He recalls racing at England's renowned Brands Hatch circuit and the festival-like atmosphere that characterized the event. American flags, American muscle cars on display, track walks, and even country music on the speakers, with tens of thousands of people typically turning out each summer for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series events at the famed road circuit. Labonte sees the potential in developing drivers from other foreign series and believes that the popularity of NASCAR's style of competitiveness in many countries, which he has first-hand experience with, will be a major benefit. It's already very popular, and they want it to get bigger and bigger and are sticking to it to have it grow. And I'm sure it will, Labonte said. NASCAR going to Mexico for 2025 NASCAR Xfinity and NASCAR Cup Series points races will grab more potential interest internationally too. They are building a great overall foundation, and it just has to get to the next level. And that's exactly what Siegler and his team of more than a dozen executives have been working for years, with the promise that the approaching 2025 season will highlight their efforts and drive. With all our international series, I wish I could just pack people up and let them come see it, says Siegler. When you have 50,000 people at a place like Interlagos and 43,000 at a place like Brands Hatch, it tells you there is a passion for this style of racing outside the US. I tell people about our international team and try to educate the fan base that NASCAR is bigger than only the Cup Series, Siegler said. When I'm out giving presentations, I ask, what are the 4 biggest cities NASCAR races in, and they may say a city like Chicago or Dallas. And I remind them we race in Mexico City, Sao Paulo, London, and Toronto. We race in cities in some form or fashion that have 20, 30 million people, and that's a big story for us. Not only are venues and fans crucial, but racing itself is essential for advancement, from authorities to teams to participants. Foreign exchange works both ways and is essential to growth. Longtime NASCAR official Joe Balash, for example, is the sporting and technical director of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series and has relocated to France in his new position. The athletes have a strong and clear conviction in the sport's potential on several continents. Ruben Garcia Jr., a 5-time NASCAR Mexico Series champion, described NASCAR in the US as crazy in a good way, compared to Formula One, which can be monotonous. He received his new trophy at the NASCAR Awards banquet in Charlotte last month. Those Formula One races are very simple. Most of the races are decided a couple of laps after the start, but when people see NASCAR, they think it is crazy good, and now they will get the chance to watch the sport I fell in love with. Having a race in Mexico City will help a lot, and people will realize how fun it is, how great the atmosphere is, and they will fall in love with the sport. Vittorio Garelli, the newly crowned NASCAR Well Euro Series champion from Italy, feels that stock car racing has acquired substantial popularity worldwide. It competes on race-friendly venues like as England's Brands Hatch and even an oval, although a small track, in the Netherlands. Its event in Valencia, Spain's renowned circuit Ricardo Tormo, is only second in attendance to the MotoGP race there each year. And as the competitors gain experience, not only does it improve the racing in Europe, but it presents opportunities for those drivers to be noticed and test their growth in the United States. Every race, there are kilometers of queues, people waiting in lines for entry, said Garelli, a former open-wheel and sports car driver who has adapted to stock cars so well he won the pole position for all races in the series during the 2024 season. It is very nice because this is what NASCAR is, leaving it open to everyone compared to other series where the tickets are so high priced. But NASCAR makes it accessible to everyone. They push it a lot in marketing, and you see families come and camp with small kids who ask for autographs. It's really what makes this series so special, and I love this connection is growing even more in the US because my dream would be to have a chance in the US and maybe some races. That is certainly a goal for the various series, all enjoying concrete signs of progress. In Canada, the NASCAR Canada Series has a new general manager, Alain Labrosse, who plans to make a bigger impact on the 2025 season, including a calendar with an equal mix of ovals and road courses. I definitely come in optimistic, Labrosse said. I spent most of my first year observing, analyzing, and evaluating where we need to improve, whether it be our organization or third parties, the venues, the teams. I think people are going to notice, as of 2025, the improvements. There is more energy, a positive energy, and it's important for NASCAR to develop this product and what it has to show beyond the boundaries of the USA. They know that, and I think everybody is putting in the correct efforts to reach new heights. It's a common pattern throughout the four series. They are all more established, and now have the enviable position of generating constant attention off track while developing stars on track. Important milestones were achieved. Not only did the NASCAR Brazil Series debut its first oval, in the season finale no less, but Suarez's participation only served to boost the series' popularity. The NASCAR Mexico Series expects to see some high-profile action this season, competing with the NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series in a triple-header weekend for its inaugural race on June 14th. 15. The NASCAR Whelen Euro Series cars will have upgraded dashboards and championships rebranded with a pro division for professional drivers and an open division for young talents and gentlemen drivers, with 4 races each weekend, 2 for pro and 2 for open competitors. It all reflects the strength of these series, as well as NASCAR's growing global appeal. What we've been working with our partners over there is developing drivers, and they are big on this, Siegler said. So the goal is, if you're a young kid racing a kart and your dream is to race at Monaco, that's great. But there might be some kids whose dream is to go to Daytona, but they don't know the path. What we're trying to do is give them some roadmaps. And it shows that from the time you're 5 years old, this is what you do, and what that step might cost you. This is a way to show if you want to race in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, here are the logical steps you would take to get there if you want to do it. Obviously, there's no guarantee, but you're laying out a roadmap of how you get there. What's unique that we have going for us in the International Series, the drivers that race for us, they are shocked to race in front of fans. I know that sounds crazy, but in go-karts, even sports car races there aren't a lot of fans, so that's a lot of excitement they don't normally get. We want them to see this, touch it, and feel it, and also understand, you are the face of NASCAR for us in Europe, and to make sure they understand how important their role is. So what are your thoughts on NASCAR's global expansion? Have you ever watched any of the other series? And are you excited to see the old-school NASCAR in the USA move abroad for some races in 2025? And could you see them racing even further from home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.